What's up, everybody? Adam here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the CURT Hitch-Mounted Bike Rack on our 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. So this is going to be kind of a premium style rack, and it is going to be rated for electric bikes. So if they're under 65 pounds, without the battery of course, we're going to be able to use it with 2 electric bikes. So if you have some electric bikes, if you have a fat tire electric bike, the wheel cradles are going to be able to accommodate for 4 inches of tire widths. And then we do have a wheel hook, which is going to accommodate any wheel diameter from 20 inches all the way to 29. So if you have fenders on this on your bike, you're either going to have to remove them or go with a different rack, just because we're not supposed to use these with fenders. But one thing about this rack, which I look for in any rack that I have test fit, is we have a little lever here, and it's going to be able to tilt with the bikes installed. With the hitch that we have on our GLC, it gets extremely low to the ground. So it doesn't hit, but it does get extremely low. But it does give us enough clearance to be able to access our rear hatch. So you can grab whatever, and this one actually has a decent amount of room from the bumper to the tray. So you can actually just go grocery shopping or whatever and grab all your stuff out. A lot of the other ones, they don't really leave you a whole lot of room. So it's kind of hard to kind of shimmy in here. But this one does, which I like a lot. So let's go over some measurements. I mentioned how this gives us plenty of room right in between our bumper and the inner wheel tray. So let me lift this up. And all you gotta do is lift it up and it'll snap into place. Let's give a measurement. So you have about 14 inches from the bumper to the inner wheel tray. And then the closest part of the rack, it's about 6.5 inches, which isn't really that close. It's not really gonna move or anything. The first thing we wanna do when taking the bike off is starting with the back wheel strap. So this back strap, it is going to just be activated by a little lever right here. But once I take it off, you'll be able to see, 1, we have a little sleeve right here, and 2, we are going to be able to accommodate for a lot of different size wheelbase bikes, because it will be able to slide across the whole entire tray, which is pretty nice. And always do that first, just because it doesn't really hold the bike upright. It just kind of helps with that vertical movement. So now with this, if we do have it locked, you're just going to have to unlock it. It does come with locking cores and a cable. It's kind of sneaky because it stows away so nicely. I like that a lot. So you just wrap it around wherever, and it just stows back into this little arm right here. We are going to get keys with our kit, and this isn't the only lock that we have. We have one for this one and one for the one on the outer tray as well. And when we undo this wheel hook, we want to press this button, but hold your bike, because it will fall. So you lift that up, fold it out, and then you can take the bike off the rack. Now you can see a little bit more of what we're really working with. Put that to the side. Okay, so it's going to be the same exact thing for each tray. And one thing I really do like is the wheel cradle. So some of these are just trays, and I just like the idea of having a cradle in here, because 1, it's lifted in this on the back side of it. So when we have the hook over here, it's going to be pulling that tire down in this little channel. You can also do it with road bikes, fat tire bikes, mountain bikes, all that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. I do really like the cradles. So let's go over some other measurements. The overall length, with anything that you put in your hitch, you're just going to add a little bit of length to the back. This one is about 34 inches, which is a pretty standard amount of length added with a 2 bike rack. But we can use that same exact lever that we use to tilt to go up. I did notice that it is extremely close to the bumper, about 1.5 inches from the bumper, but even when I wiggle this like crazy, it's not going to hit, so you don't have to worry about that. Backup cameras with any bike rack, you're going to have a little bit of issues with that. It's not going to completely block your view, but it is just kind of going to limit it a little bit. Looking down at the shank, just make sure you have a 2-inch hitch receiver. So with the 2-inch, it's the only size they're going to be able to use it with. It's not one that can convert down. But one thing I do like about this is you don't need a tool to tighten it down. All you need is your hands. So coming on out to this is going to be our torque knob, and it's going to be key to like to our bike cables up top. So you can lock this to your hitch and it'll be nice and safe. And you can also lock your bikes to the bike rack and then you're good. So everything's kind of locked down, gives you some peace of mind if you're traveling. So just to show you what the anti-rattle system does, this is with nothing. It's kind of a lot. But as I start to tighten it down, and I do suggest kind of wiggling this whenever you tighten it down, just to get it seated in there properly. And it has a little torque setting, so once you over tighten it, you won't be able to. It'll just start clicking like that. So that's kind of cool. You want to make sure you protect it, because I usually have a lot of strength sometimes and I don't want to damage it. But as you can see, it is nice and solid. All in all, this is definitely up with the more premium racks. Maybe like the NV 2.0 is probably one I would put with this. I like the look of it. I don't mind the orange at all. I kind of actually like the orange. But with the black powder coated finish, I think it's going to be a great option for you, and it really goes good with the black color of our GLC. And again, this was the CURT Hitch-Mounted Bike Rack on our 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300.